everyone, it's JG here with Earth 5D University, back for another teaching. Are you the light, the path, and the way forward, friends? How are you today? So nice to see you. It's always such a pleasure, guys, to join forces and come together with these teachings. Thank you so much for being part of Earth 5D University and my Earth 5D Tarot channel. Both channels are geared at helping you to live your very best life, to be authentic, and to really manifest in your daily, regular lives the things and the ideas and the energies of what makes you come alive. And sometimes I do say this, like, there's areas of our life that it's easier to do than in others. Sometimes we invest so much in our career and that just takes off, or we invest in our health and that our physique just takes off. And then sometimes with relationships, it's a little harder, right? It requires a different level of understanding and self-awareness. Guys, I'm excited to talk today about vulnerability and what it means to sort of be imperfect, right? Let me start with an example. So one of my favorite musicians has been this way for, I don't know, since my mid to late 20s, is Jason Mraz. And he's an American musician. And sometimes he's sold commercially more as a pop singer because he's had like a lot of pop songs. But he is so creative and so real and just so spiritual, and he doesn't pretend to be any of those things, you know. It just comes through naturally in who he is. So I once heard him interviewed, and you know, the interviewers were like, how is it, Jason, that you always come through with such positive, happy messages? Are you always this happy? His answer was so near and dear to my heart because I often feel the same way. He said, no. He said, I have really hard days. He said, it's not easy for me to always be upbeat and happy. That is not who I am on the regular. But the way I choose to express myself and what makes me happy in this lifetime is to bring forth positivity and help other people feel positive. And I've been following him for so many years, you know, and so I've watched, like, in his comments of some of his most famous videos, you know, this song healed me from cancer, this song healed me from X, Y, and Z. And it's his positivity that he chooses to exude, right? That isn't who he is all the time, but it is that positivity that he loves giving to the world. And that is his art, and that is his medium. And that's exactly how I feel. Am I positive? Am I positive 365, right? 24/7? Heck no. I go through struggles just like anyone else. I go through challenges. I go through challenging energy. I go through exhaustion. I go through health stuff, right? I go through energetic things, relationship things, family things. So it's, I think, important to understand that just because I choose to express myself through the lens of positivity and bring that to you, it doesn't mean that my life is like neatly rolled up into a package, right? And I'm just okay, you know, all the time, right? That's not realistic. So let's talk about what's real, right? What's real is that we are vulnerable. Let's be real. We struggle. And especially right now, and I really want to bring this up, is that right now, particularly, life is changing, right? We're bridging like this 3D material world with 5D energy, and that 5D energy is simply a higher dimension on Earth. It's just a higher frequency that we can access and enjoy. So it's truly a place that we can feel into and try to connect to the best that we can. Does that mean that we're not paying taxes, working hard, running to the grocery store, trying to stay healthy, right? Trying to eat right, trying to sleep right? So It's so important. Which kitty? It's my little kitty. So, hello. Come say hi. I love you. I love you. Yes. It doesn't mean that we aren't dealing with the things and the people and the traffic and the travel and the hardcore energy of people on this planet. Not everyone is like gung-ho all the time and cheerful, right? But I want to empower you to know that there are people who are truly rooting for you, and I am one of them. Even though, you know, we are all dealing with this bridging of the material world and this higher vibration, it's important to be vulnerable with yourself, to just kind of gloss over your feelings and tuck them in and to say, no, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to work towards my best life. Of course we want to work towards our best life, but it has to be through processing energy, feeling the way we feel, sometimes being frustrated, sometimes not being content, sometimes having very difficult emotions. So it is working through those difficult emotions that actually is more of this gateway to the 5D. So often and frequently, as time goes on in our lives and as we mature, we are shown different aspects of ourselves. And that is only to help you receive more joy. We are shown different parts of ourselves in order to call in more joy into our lives. So if you were called to see harder, more difficult aspects of self that aren't Miss Cheerful or Mr. Cheerful, allow yourself to be that. Allow yourself to be who you are. It is that authentic self that the world wants and needs. And so you can be like Jason Mraz, you can be like me, Jen Gordon, and others out there who struggle but still do it anyway, right? Who struggle but still show up. And let me tell you, some days I'm like, am I gonna make it, right? I think it's difficult for people to believe that, right? That I would ask myself that. But of course, like, there are many unknowns, and it's okay to doubt yourself. It's okay to doubt your journey. And more than ever right now, it's important to allow yourself to be vulnerable and ask yourself those hard questions. Face the difficult things that are coming up in your life. I remember seeing this interview recently with Miley Cyrus, who also is one of my favorite people. I love her authenticity. I love her rawness. I love her voice. And like, she just doesn't care what people think of her, right? And that just takes so much courage. I saw this interview, and she was struggling with her voice. She actually needed surgery on her voice. And if you've heard her speak, she's got a very gritty voice, right? And you can just see what she's gone through in her voice. And I love that she's so real with the struggle. I love that she's so real with, like, what do you expect, man? I was a kid, right? I was a kid growing up in Hollywood, right? I was a kid and I was doing the best I can. And so this authenticity train is a very, very lovely train to get on. This vulnerability train, like, yeah, I have hard days, but I still love, and I still choose to love myself. I still choose to love this journey, and I'm not stopping, right? I'm gonna look for answers, and I'm gonna find strength within myself, right? So just know when there's, and I didn't make this up. I heard this in I think it was on a reading, and the reader was like, look, when you have perfectly smooth exterior, right? There's nothing to hold on to. It's so hard to connect to other people because there's this image of just everything is just smooth. And you're just like, what am I going to hold on to? But when you have those cracks, you know, that come from struggle and hardship, and you feel those cracks, and you're like, oh, that's something I can connect to. I can hold on to these cracks that I have, that you have in our exterior. Not everything is smooth sailing, right? We can connect to these cracks, these challenges, where our exterior just feels like it's going to crumble. And we can find strength in that. And so in each other. And so if you feel like you've got this facade, or you got to keep your SHIT together so tightly, just know in your vulnerability is where you find others, that there's beautiful humans out there that also struggle, and that you don't have to be Miss Susie Sunshine or Mr. Sunshine 247, 365, right? That people can take the joy from you and also take your authenticity. And that's what you need to give to yourself, friends. Your authentic self. What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, I can't feel my feelings because I have to be perfect? I can't feel my feelings because if I do, I'm just going to crack. I'm going to effing crack, right? Even if you feel like you're going to crack, you're not gonna. Something's going to happen to help you. Someone's going to help you. So just know that this authenticity and this feeling of vulnerability and whatever comes up through that is safe. Safe. All right, friends, that's my message for you today. If you're interested in coaching with me, my cat is jumping everywhere. If you're interested in coaching with me, I have an application on my website. Feel free to fill it out. If you and I feel like it's a good fit, we can move forward. I'm so excited to meet more of you and work with you one-on-one. And so much love and light, Earth 5D family. You take good care.